welcome back, guys. Sorry it's been so long. Life getting in the road. Been on a few holidays and whatnot. As you saw from the start of the video, took it out onto the street for a little quick test drive. First time it's been out of the garage in 20 years. It's been under restoration for 12 years. It's a bit of a milestone. First impressions driving it, geez, I don't want to offend the fairer sex or anything, but geez, it's a bit of a man's car. Everything's so heavy. Steering, gear changes, clutch, brakes a little bit, accelerator's pretty heavy. Everything's a bit of a wrestle, and it was a bit of a shock to the system after driving modern cars for a while. But yeah, it all worked pretty well. The clutch was a little grabby. The Webers, all I've done with the Webers is tune the idle, and the idle jets sort of a little bit of the progression as well into you know, like probably the first 30% of your throttle the idle jets hold. I've still got a bit more. They haven't been balanced. They are basically, I've balanced them by ear just roughly, so they're running pretty good. Still need a fair bit of work, but now I get to move on to the next stage, which is getting it through registration and everything. So I'll be pulling the Webers off and this bonnet, putting the old bonnet back on, changing the back wheels, of course, probably the front, a few bits and pieces just to make the blue slip a little bit more pleasant, I suppose you could say. So the reason for the length. Okay, so I have done a fair bit on it. I reset the, well, didn't reset the rear leaf springs, but what I did was I did the trick of, because they're 5 leaf springs, I took the small one off the bottom, the small bottom leaf, flipped it over and clamped it down onto the top. That lowered about 15-20 mil on the back, which was spot on. That's exactly what I wanted, and that went pretty good. The fronts I splashed out and got myself some coilovers from McDonald Brothers. You'll be seeing that now in the video. They were straightforward fit, very good quality, no dramas there, very easy to adjust. And the ones I got, there was 2 lengths. There was the stock to, I think, 2 inches lower length. I got the slightly shorter, which was 2 to 4 inches lower than standard, because I was worried, because I've taken so much weight out of the front end, that it wasn't going to settle like a normal Falcon. So I got the slightly shorter ones, and yeah, plenty of room for adjustment. They were spot on. So I can, it's about as it sits and as it was in the video, it's a smidgen under 4 inches or 100 mil of ground clearance on one spot, and that's where the exhaust collectors go into the exhaust system, the extractor collectors. There's a flange there. That's the only spot that is a little bit under the 100 mil. Otherwise, it's all over 100 mil for ground clearance, which I'm pretty happy with. It sits pretty good. Yeah, I can lower it a little bit more on the front end, but I don't. Maybe in the future, I'll see. I'll play with that later. So for Rego, I think I've got another set of Simmons centers. I think I'm going to splash out and get some more rims and make myself another set of Simmons. I've got tyres for the back. They're a 265 or something like that. I'll make up a set of 8" by 15 set of Simmons. So, and the front wheels, I'll get a bit of a higher profile on the front, so that'll lift it up just over for Rego. I can adjust the suspension, but this, if I go to a slightly higher series, because these are like a 40 series, 245 40 series. So if I go like a 225 60 series on the spare set of wheels, that'll give me what I want. And 265s on the back, on 8-inch rims all round, that's legal. No dramas there. So yeah, the suspension's taken care of. The other hiccup I had was the tacho. I replaced that, put a different one in. We'll see it in the video. And yeah, that works fine. It's got a few, what do you call it, options that you can play with, rev limiters, and it's got a shift light and whatnot. So that's good as well. The thing that sort of slowed me down was I was doing a bit of tuning work with the engine and everything, and giving it a bit of a rev and giving it a big rev, and I noticed the next day she was dripping oil from the rear main, which really pissed me off. I mean, the engine's been sitting for a long time, and maybe the seal's dried out, and I don't know if it's the old rope seal, and I don't know if it's or it's got an updated like the rubber neoprene seal. So, and it was a bit of a drip, and I thought, well, that's an engine out. To fix that properly, there's no way I'm going to do it under the car. I just pulled the engine out, and I thought, oh well, you can just sit there for a while. But what happened, I'll give this a bit of a plug. I bought some of this stuff, Newline. Thought it's worth a go, you know. It was $48, I think. So yeah, a bit pricey, but I thought rather than pull the engine out, if I can get away with it. But it is healing. It is healing. It's nowhere near as bad. There's a little bit of a drip there still, but it's only, I think, maybe residue. It's not dripping constantly like it was before. I just took it for a drive, and there's a small drip there on the floor, and I think that could be just residue from the engine heating up and it coming out. But it does say drive at 150 k's before it really sets in, and yeah, it seems to be working already. It works so good that I've put it in my Typhoon and my wife's FG, because my wife's FG has got a slight weep at the rear main and a slight weep at the front crank seal, and my Typhoon's got a slight weep at the front crank seal, and it's fixed. I haven't checked the wife's yet, but on my Typhoon it's healed that, so that's good. Yeah, but other than that, I haven't got much more to report, I don't think. I've got my list of shit to do, which I'm almost through. The bottom three are just basically for rego, you know. And after the little rear main fucking, and I chucked a bit of a tanty and didn't look at it for 2 months. I really needed to do some work on my Typhoon. The windscreen was leaking. I went to get that changed, and when we took all the covers off around the cowl here, rust. So I thought, I stopped that. Brought it home. It was still leaking a lot of water in there, and very hard cars to get water out of, because I got under the carpet there's like a sponge about this thick, and it just soaks up water like you wouldn't believe. So it took me quite a while to get all the water out, and I had a list for the Typhoon as well, so I worked my way through that, got the rust fixed. Didn't think I wasn't ready to be doing rust repairs again, but I bit the bullet, patched all that up, did a bit of other work on it, a lot of things that were just annoying me. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. I have been busy on the cars. It's just not this one. I've just been focusing on the Typhoon because I've decided to keep it. So I want to get it. You know, I've had it for 14 years, and it's a great car. And it's, besides a little bit of rust, like they do, and the clear coat peeling and patches, the interior and everything, it looks good, and mechanically it's spot on. So, I mean, it was parked where I worked at the steelworks in the Illawarra, at Port Kembla. It was parked between the ocean and the coke ovens. And when the coke ovens, you see all that steam come up, there's coke in that, and it falls out, and then it gets on top of your car like an acid rain, and then it washes all down into the things. It was the same thing that ruined this, because I used to drive this in there as well. So, you know, it was no surprise it had a bit of rust around the edges, but and it was always parked outside. So, yeah, the Typhoon, I might paint it next year. I don't know. I'll see what happens. But yeah, she's basically finished. Like I said, she drives pretty good. The Webers are definitely snappier, even though they're really out of tune. Definitely snappier on the throttle. Still a bit smoky, you know, like still a bit rich here and there, but and I think I got one cylinder running a bit lean, but yeah, it's good. The clutch was a bit grabby, but that seems to have freed up now. It was just like a little bit on and off, and now it seems freer, and it's smooth. The brakes are fine. It starts up, no worries. Everything works. Pretty happy with it overall. A few little bits and pieces I still want to do, but that'll wait until after registration now. So yeah, I'll start working away. The biggest job is building another set of wheels, and it's expensive too. It's probably going to cost me $1 or $2 grand. Like I said, I've already got the centers, but I've been looking for another set of wheels other than chucking steelies on it, which I don't want to do because then I've got to put tyres on them and all the rest. And you know, you're spending $600 there. I thought, I've already got some tyres, and besides 2 new front tyres, I've got tyres for the rear, like I said, 265s. I think they're Yokohamas. It just makes sense to build another set of wheels. If I'm going to spend $1,000 on a shitty set of mags that I'm never going to use, I think I'd just rather build a set the same as this, but just narrower, 8-inch legal. The fronts are already 8-inch, but the rears are 12-inch, so they're not going to get past rego. So yeah, let me know what you think. Again, the next video is going to be a while. Probably take me a couple of months to sort this out. But once he's registered, you'll be the first guys to hear about it. I've got a couple of holidays coming up in the next 6 months. So, because retirement, got to keep the wife busy. So, yeah, everything's going good. And thanks for watching, and thanks for sticking with it. I noticed nobody's dropped off with subscriptions, so thanks for that. I expected that people would be just giving me the flick, but yeah, it has taken a while, and I apologise for that. And it is what it is. I hope you guys like it, and like I said, stay tuned. As soon as I get it registered, I'll get some better footage, in-car footage, driving it around. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens after that. Cheers, guys.